All right, welcome to Eyes Open Media. All right, so the report is out on the main channel, and so what I want to do here is just go over the things that in more detail about the SDR stuff, and but also I want to go over the stuff that I didn't get to cover in the report. Okay, so as you see here, it says Hillary Clinton's image worse in 24 years, says the new poll. I don't know what these polls are. I don't know who's doing these polls, but of course. Hillary Clinton's image, of course, has taken a bad turn. Of course, with all the emails, things, the Benghazi scandal, all the Fast and the Furious, all the scandals that she's been in, all the email stuff, and now, of course, the leaks that are coming out about they rigged the primaries so Bernie Sanders wouldn't win. Now look, Bernie Sanders could run as an independent. He was an independent, wasn't he? And then he chose to become a to run as a Democrat. So Bernie Sanders can easily run as an independent. I don't know why Bernie Sanders is especially last night I don't know how you call it or what you call it, but he's so forceful in saying Hillary Clinton must be the next president now. Like where is this coming from? Was he threatened by the elites or by the Zionists, or what's going on with Bernie Sanders? And that's why he was booed. He was booed yesterday when he made those statements at the Democratic convention. So he was booed. I think he might have been the only one that was booed. And that's because he was talking about Hillary must become the president at all costs. Like, what are you talking about, Bernie Sanders? Like, you can run as an independent, and you'll probably win as an independent. So Bernie, I don't know what's going on. I don't know. It looks like the reason the reason why we're seeing the drastic change in Bernie Sanders is because the elites or the Zionists or whoever came to him and probably told him it's over, okay? And if it's not over for you, we're gonna make sure it's over for you. So and we're gonna start leaking some things that we have about you, or we're just gonna assassinate you. And, you know what I'm saying? I mean, point blank and simple. So that's probably one of the reasons why Bernie Sanders has done a 360 on his own people, and that's why he's getting booed now. Okay, so the guy everybody thought was walking with Martin Luther King and hanging with Malcolm X and all that other crap, and he's now saying vote for Hillary at all costs, even if you have to give your life. Vote for Hillary, okay? Even though she cheated, vote for Hillary. Even though she has email scandals after email scandals, Benghazi scandals, all types of things about her. She and then the woman that was caught doing the scandal, Hillary just hired her to be part of her team. I mean, can you think about? And we thought that she wasn't going to have a job for a very long time, but nope. Hillary said, "You know what? You did me a great job. Come on, join my team. The scandal team. So." It is what it is, man. But I think a lot of people are heartbroken over Bernie Sanders because he is now pushing this Hillary train like crazy, and people are trying to figure out why. So yeah, I think it has to do with the higher ups over Sanders' head, telling him that enough is enough. You're done. You had your 15 minutes of fame, okay, and that's probably what's going on. And so now he's changing it all up now. Remember, at the end of the day, they're all puppets anyway, so it doesn't surprise me at all. Bernie Sanders has done a 360-degree turnaround. And then also, which was interesting yesterday, was everybody loved the Michelle Obama's speech last night. But but everybody forgets that this is the same Michelle Obama who was calling Hillary Clinton a thief, a liar, and all types of names just a couple of months ago, to 6 months ago, to even a year ago. And now Michelle Obama, and then also learning about the email scandals. And then Michelle Obama's up there saying, vote for Hillary. And it's just absolutely ridiculous. Like they actually believe that Americans don't realize what they just said a couple of weeks ago about the same person they want now to be in the White House. And Michelle Obama really probably doesn't want Hillary in the White House. She just wants a Democrat in the White House. So that's the reason, you know what I mean? So if it was Bernie Sanders, she'll say the same thing. She doesn't like Bernie Sanders, but if Bernie Sanders was the nomination, well, she doesn't want a Republican in the White House. She wants a Democrat. So a lot of times they change their tunes because it's still their party, and so they want their party, regardless how wicked their party is, regardless how evil their party is. They still want their party to be in the White House, okay, not the other party. So same thing with the Republicans, they'll bash each other, but when it comes down to it, they'd rather have a Republican in the White House than a Democrat. Okay? And this is what divides the country, the Democrats, Republicans. This is what the founding fathers said will destroy will be the end result of the country of America, will be the downfall, is when they divide it into red and blue, Bloods and Crips, Democrats, Republicans, whatever you call it, and then they can never get along, and then they just basically they just destroy the country because they always want to be on their side, and they can't communicate with each other, so the country ends up being destroyed because of political parties. And that's what we're seeing now. We're seeing America struggle and go through a lot of the things we're going through because of political parties. Okay, one side doesn't want to give in to the other side, and it just destroys the foundation of a country, and that's what we're seeing. And it's pretty sad, but we were warned years and years and years ago about this stuff. That's why I want to see an independent come out. I want somebody that's independent to come out and run against these two. I mean, and so far we haven't heard about anybody. Maybe there's somebody in hiding in the wings that's gonna probably maybe come out in September and say, I'm going independent, vote for me. It could be a celebrity. You never know. It could be, we might see a celebrity, maybe a Denzel Washington or something. You know what I mean? Or who else? Maybe Jesse Williams. Maybe I don't know. Maybe some type of person that actually knows how to speak their minds and has a big following. Maybe like 10 million followers on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Maybe they might run independent, and give these people a run for their money. I don't know. We shall see, won't we? Okay, so let's go here. And it's Jabari, who is the Speaker of the House, if you guys don't know. Parliament is ready to receive the new cabins a body. So Parliament's ready to receive the new cabinet members for a body. Well, they've already been there for a while, okay, but they're ready to make it public that these guys are ready to go, okay. So, and that's what Jabari's saying. All right, so let's bring in these new cabinet members, which are already there, by the way. But let's get these guys approved. Let's get these guys publicly approved. Let's go, okay. It is a good thing. We got to see a body announce its full government before I think we see a full blown revaluation, because they're going into a global market economy, not for the one to one, but for the full blown revaluation. Okay. Okay, so it says World Bank planning SDR bonds in China. I did talk about this on the report today on the main channel, but I didn't read it. I'm just going to read the beginning here. It says the World Bank is planning to sell bonds in China denominated in the International Monetary Fund Special Drawing Rights, or SDRs. People familiar with the matter said the offering would be in China's interbank note market. According to the people, who asked not to be identified, issuance of the securities may be as soon as next month. One of the people said they would be the first in SDRs from the lender, according to the data complied by Bloomberg. Okay, so there you have it for that. So World Bank planning SDR bonds in China. Interesting. Also, we talked about, I did mention this in the report, Iraq government, al-Sadr represents himself and no more. Okay, so these guys are talking about al-Sadr's threat against the coalition forces, and al-Sadr's threat against a maybe possible coup in Iraq. And he's saying that al-Sadr represents himself. He doesn't represent Iraq or anything like that. He's his own guy. He has his own followers. He represents himself. Yeah, that's true. Okay, and last but not least is this one. Okay, so this is um we did talk about this on the main channel as well. What is this? IMF sets new SDR calculations method for prepare for the yuan's entry. Okay, we're gonna hear a lot about the Chinese yuan and the IMF and the SDRs, all the way to October. I think we're probably going to see at least an article a week. If I'm going to be shocked if we don't. Okay, they got the new platforms come. There's a new platform coming on September. I think for cryptocurrencies on September 2nd, I believe. What is the date of September 2nd for the cryptocurrencies? And that's a Friday. It's a Friday, September. Okay, so Friday, September 2nd, new platforms for cryptocurrencies, and then of course October 1st, which is a Saturday, which is the activation of the Chinese yuan into the SDRs, the special drawing rights, which is really the global reset. Okay, so that's what we have coming, and so we're gonna start hearing a lot about IMF SDRs, and IMF's gonna move away from Iraq. If you guys haven't noticed, that's what's gonna happen. They're gonna move away from Iraq, and they're going to start focusing on the big day, October 1st, right? And they're gonna start focusing on the SDRs and the calculations, the methods, and preparing themselves for the Chinese yuan. And because this is going to change a lot that goes on around the world. It's going to change how business is done. It's going to change how oil is. It could change how oil is closed. The transactions of it could start to be SDRs and not petrodollar. It's going to change a lot of stuff for different countries on how they what currencies they use to settle transactions, agreements, and things of that nature. So this is a big deal. So the IMF is completely done with Iraq. They told them to raise their value. So Iraq's going to do that on their own. Now the IMF's going to now start to focus on China, okay, and the SDRs and the Chinese yuan being activated, because this is a very complicated thing and it's very, very important that the IMF gets this right completely. And then one of the reasons why they waited so long to activate this is because it's very complicated. Okay, so you guys remember that back in last year November is when they actually agreed to go ahead for China, but they're not. What that was last November, and they waited all the way to October 1st this year to actually get them activated, because so much work has to be done to get this thing right and make sure that it rebalances the structure around the world correctly. They don't want to fail in this, okay? So this is not a laughing matter at all. People's lives are going to be different because of this. Bank businesses and transactions around the world. So this is something that we need to be serious about. It is a reset that's coming, and most likely the Dow Jones will be at 20,000 when this thing happens, as well. So yeah. Since the International Monetary Fund on Monday said that it adopts a new methodology for calculating the currency amounts of the special drawing rights the fund uses for transactions, partly to ensure that China's yuan meets the IMF board intended weighting. Okay, so they're going to be using different transactions, different methods to make sure that China is good to go into the SDR, so they don't have any problems. The changes will apply to a historic rebalance of the SDR basket on October 1st, okay, which is a Saturday. Once again, it's a Saturday. The fact that they picked a Saturday for this is it's kind of alarming, but I think the reason why they did that is because they don't want to do it during the weekday. Okay, they don't want to do it. They don't want to do this thing during a weekday where people are doing business. Okay, they want to do it on a day that most countries are not doing business, and that's usually Saturday. Okay, so Saturday it is, October 1st, the global reset, the activation of the Chinese yuan, and then we'll see what happens on that Monday, because we won't know really the effects of it until that Monday. So let's take this serious because it is serious, and it is going to begin the fall of the dollar as well. So let's take it serious. Eyes open. Peace out, everybody.